Hello, my fellow readers. My name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky. Here I am just following the crowd. Everybody else is doing their plans for 2026, so I guess I will too. Tell you what, I'm pretty sure I'm going to read, what I might read, what events I'm involved in. And I leave a lot of open space for who knows what. Let's start with the group events. Alan from Alan's Reads and Andrea from Infinite Text and I are putting together a brand new event in March called March on the Rails. Books about trains and railways. We have not sorted out all of the details, but we'll get that done soon, and we will be putting out announcements and ideas for what you might read, fiction and nonfiction. So you can mark your calendars. March on the Rails. Of course, in June, it's June on the Range. I was a co-host last year. I hope I am again this year. And I have so many options back here, especially on this top shelf. Look, all the Zane Greys here, and the Louis L'Amours and the Max Brands and beyond. So I will be participating, probably co-hosting, but definitely participating in June on the Range, where we just read Westerns all month. And then in July, this past July, we did an event for the first time called Private Eye July. Jim over at Mystery and Mayhem organized that, and I was a co-host where we just read Private Eye fiction. And I'm planning to do that again as well, and hopefully I will be a co-host of that as well. So those are the events that I know I'm going to be involved in. I might dip in and out of other events as they whoosh by, but those are the three that I'm planning to do deep dives into. Do have a couple of group reads scheduled. One is Frankenstein in February. Alan at Alan's Reads and I were planning to do this as a buddy read. And then Gareth said he was interested. Gareth's from Book Songs and Other Magic. And then Pat from Book Chat with Pat said she was interested. So we may have turned this into a group read. We'll see how that all falls out. But for sure, Alan and I will be reading Frankenstein in February. And then in May, our Walter Scott reading group that read Ivanhoe in November wants to keep going. So we are going to read Rob Roy in May as a group. And this may turn into a regular twice-a-year group read. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how Rob Roy goes. But everybody loved Ivanhoe. And we're looking forward to reading Rob Roy together as a group. I think there were 7 of us. Yeah, 7 of us in the group. If you're interested in joining us, let me know. For buddy reads, got a couple on the calendar. Well, Alan and I are going to read Frankenstein for sure, whether that's a buddy read or a group read. You know, the buddy read I have scheduled for February is with Andrea from Infinite Text, and we are going to read Lord Jim by Joseph Conrad. Neither of us have read this before. We're both interested and excited, and reading novels of the sea, always a fun time. So I'm looking forward to that a lot. And then in April, I actually did this, I actually committed with Debs at Rainer Reed Stuff. And in April, we're going to read The Count of Monte Cristo, which is like a 14,000 page book. I don't know. Debs has read it before, but it's been a while. I have never read it. So I really am excited about it, and I'm glad to have somebody to read it with. But it's a little daunting. But after hearing so many great comments about it, particularly from Alan at Alan's Reads when he read it earlier this year, I decided it's time. And when Deb said she was interested, Buddy Reed formed. All right, then I've got some projects that I want to work on this year. I got a couple started in 2025 that I abandoned. I DNF'd the project, but some kept going. One of those that has been going since April of 2025 is cowboy poetry. I've posted a reading of a cowboy poem almost every Thursday since April, and I will continue to do that, but I may add to that a series of episodes of particular poets with a little bit of biography, a little bit of poetry reading, and some suggestions for where you might start if that poet interests you. This isn't a year-long project, but in January, I want to be focused on the poetry of Robert Burns. Robert Burns, of course, the national poet of Scotland. His birthday is January 25th, and it is marked by Burns Night celebrations. It's celebrated in different ways in Scotland and throughout the diaspora. So even here, out in the American West, we can find us some haggis on Burns Night. But I will be featuring some poetry of Robert Burns, some of the really well-known ones like To a Mouse, and I don't know, some other things, and then maybe some more obscure ones too. I'm starting with this little thin anthology. I can almost make that disappear. This is a Dover thrift edition. I bought it at my local bookstore, new, for $2.50. All right, and here is the biggest challenge that I'm setting for myself. I have not tried to come up with numbers or any other kind of quantitative goal yet, but I have been working on learning Gaelic. That's the Scottish Gaelic, not Irish. I've been working on learning Gaelic, and I've found I can read it fairly well. I can't always pronounce it. I can't necessarily converse well. I can't always understand it when I hear it. I'm still working on all of those skills, but reading is coming right along. And so I am going to read a few books in Gaelic. And of course, I'm going to start with simple children's books and work my way up. So I have this one. This is, some of you will recognize the cover. It's The Paper Bag Princess by Robert Munsch, which was a favorite in our family when there were younger kids around. It is, I can't put it up like this and read it. I don't have that kind of skill, but it is Bana Frianosa of Voca Fapier. So there we go. Paper Bag Princess by Robert Munsch in Gaelic. I would love to get to the point, that will not be this year, but I would love to get to the point where in Scotland, but they award best new fiction best new original fiction in Gaelic, as well as original nonfiction in Gaelic. And I would love to be able to get some of those books that have won prizes in Scotland and be able to read basically the best novels written in Gaelic. So that's kind of my optimistic goal, is to actually build a reading foundation of Gaelic. Again, I don't know where all of this is headed. It might turn into a buffalo jump. We might take the whole herd off the cliff. I don't know, but I'm gonna try. So, group and buddy reads, events, and then projects. I think there's some good stuff here, and I know I'll do cowboy poetry, and I know I'll do some special things for Burns Night in January and leading up to Burns Night. And then I've got buddy reads lined up. I got group reads lined up. Got some fabulous events. And I'm just really excited about the upcoming year. And that, my fellow readers, is the best plan I have right now for reading in 2026. So that's my commitment to you. So I'm going to read what I like to read, and I'll tell you about it. So until next time, my fellow readers, my name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky.